Hi, people. Hi, and before I start, because of this crap that's ongoing, I'm going to read out this disclaimer or put it up so that you can read it because you know what happened on April Fool's Day, the new hate crime that everybody's talking about now. I wasn't really going to do a video about this, but I just felt that it would be sensible to do a video in light of what I found on Police Scotland's website. So here's a disclaimer about any of the content in this publication, this video. If it offends you, then you've been preempted not to watch it or read it. So you know the cotton wool has to be wrapped around you, and then you have to take it off to watch this video. So, um, getting on to this hate crime thing now on Police Scotland's website. Um, this was in 2023, so there's the infantisation of the monster there. You know, this publication came out in 2023, and I think Police Scotland should be reported for the hate crime that they've actually put up. I came across this, a friend gave me a thumbs up about it. So, reading this hate crime behaviour, which is both criminal and rooted in prejudice. Now we go down and it says, we know that young men aged 18 to 30 are most likely to commit hate crime, particularly those from socially excluded communities who are heavily influenced by their peers. How do they know this? Where's the statistical data that they've got to back this statement up? That is segregating and marginalising and being prejudiced to a bunch of white men at 18 to 30 years old. You know, put a link to your data, your statistical data, your findings here, if they have got findings, or if that's just a, catch and grab situation, which in my experience, they do target young men aged 18 to 30, because we've been doing a lot of auditing with an organisation I'm involved with in courts, and what we see is young men at 18 to 30 being dragged through the court system, and mostly these men are kept in the court system, the justice system, because people forget that it's a business. Now, let's move on to the next bit. They may have deep rooted feelings of being socially and economically disadvantaged, combined with ideas about white male entitlement. I mean, this is entrenched with hate crime. Entrenched with hate crime. You know, let's just put ourselves back to remind ourselves about Police Scotland and what they've done between 2020 and 2022 when that pandemic was on. They enforced regulations that they had no powers, no statutory powers to enforce. And that's what they done. So let's not forget, the biggest majority of these recruits or whatever are young people themselves, and I'm not having a pop here at young people, but they've got got incoherent language. You'll find them if you want to find them in McDonald's. You'll find a van there, a car there. They're consuming rubbish, they're talking rubbish, and they certainly didn't know the law. Because that's been proven. And many, when I've been on the field and many other videos. So they certainly didn't know the law. And that's the reason why they recruit people at this age, because they didn't want them thinking for themselves, They don't want them knowing, having a lot of knowledge or great IQ. They're going on about keeping people safe. Just look at that Tetra that they put in their ears, I've constantly campaigned and tried to raise awareness. They go, we're keeping people safe. And they're putting frequencies in their blood-brain barrier, that probably no health risk assessment has been done for them, So honestly, this is a bigger agenda. I didn't really want to feed into this monster, I know the wee picture, the infantised picture that they've got. This is an insult to people's intelligence, this. But this hate crime thing, look at when it was implemented originally, 2021, when people were in the heart of fear, with the things going into their arms, with the things restricting their breathing, all that crap, Just look at when it was implemented. 2021, they were frightened about people, with sneezes and blah, 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 but they could get various laws through. This isn't law. This is not law. It's not law. What about all the hate crime that these adjudicators write in reports about people? You know, is that going to be now defined as a hate crime? You know, what they write about people, you know? I mean, come on, this is just craziness. There's a bigger picture in this. What they're actually saying and what people can't get their head round is that the subliminals attached to this. So they have decided that they want all cars off the road by such and such a time. Now, where do they get their biggest bit of revenue? You know, so what this says is we'll give the public devices, and they've actually, you know, done a test pilot with this. They've gave people these devices, apps, blasted them with Wi-Fi in their own house, you know, gave them various illnesses with the Wi-Fi switched on, you know, and then gave them and seen, and so that's why they want to do people in their house now, because the revenue will be taken away for the outside integrational world, cars, transportation, all this stuff. So they've got, you know, I read about 5 years ago, prior to all this pandemic crap, they served people in Australia on Facebook with court papers. This is, I'm certainly not feeding the monster because I didn't feed any of this. You know, I wouldn't even want to be doing videos, and I didn't do videos that much. I wouldn't even be what. There's nothing social about social media. People sitting in a room looking at things themselves, you know, being distracted, you know, with titillation, you know. So it's nothing social about it. It's the bipolar opposite. Yeah, you know what they're saying. You know. So this here is absolutely a hate crime. A hate crime that people should really be reporting by Police Scotland herself. You know, they have got no, you know, targeting a group of young men aged 18 to 30 who feel that they've got white privilege, white entitlement. You know, you know, we live in a country that's full of white people, fully white people, fully different, you know, races of people, you know. But the common theme now seems to be, and that First Minister, if that's what he ever was, because you notice, just go back to the video when he actually apparently got sworn in, and Dorothy Bain was there, and these Justice Clerks and things. Just look at him. He never consented to be sworn in. He nodded his head, and that's not consent. You have to say yes or no. Just go and look at that video, you know, of the First Minister being sworn in, and he nodded his head, you know, and he's nodding his head because he's just a puppet, you know, and he might take offence to that, you know, but that's, he's bought and paid for puppet, you know, and the thing is he was never sworn in. So just go and look at the subliminals and data around the First Minister being sworn in, and they couldn't get a pen to work and all that, you know. All these fancy all knowledge, and they couldn't even get a pen to work. But he did not consent to be sworn in. He never says yes or no, you know. So it's very, very troubling times, you know. People will be jumping on the bandwagon with this. They've reported him for, you know, what he says in his white speech in 2020 and whatever. That'll go nowhere. These people are protected. You know, just look at Nicola Sturgeon with the camper van and all this and that. It's titillation and it's distraction. There's bigger things going on behind the scene. You know, bigger things going on behind the scene. And people can't see it, you know, because this is all to enslave you further, you know. And it just, you know, they've got to look at different ways to catch people and get the revenue that's been generated in different sources through centuries, you know. And when they're taking things away from you, they need to look at other avenues to gain that revenue back in. And this is what this is all about, you know. So I'll leave it there, people, and you know, I'll just leave it up to you. I'll put a link actually up to that Tetra um, data that I was speaking about, and just let's see what transpires with this.